Welcome to our module 2.1 in Intermediate Excel. Now, in our last video, we discussed worksheet protection, and related to the same thing, we are discussing now workbook protection. Now, the difference is that we protected the sheet here, but let's say if a user comes into the sheet 2, they can still change anything over here. They can still add anything over here. The main key you can see one thing, or you can notice one thing here, is the top bar. You can use anything over there, but over here in our sheet 1, the top bar, it's all grayed out because of the fact it's locked. So how to protect the workbook, the whole workbook? And if it's not protected, they can add another sheet, and they can add other tabs, sheet tabs. You can delete it, and also they can rename them. But this one sheet, which is just the worksheet, was locked. Now let's say how to lock the whole workbook. Now we can still make changes to our Excel files, such as creating new tabs as I discussed, deleting them, and naming tabs. Now workbook protection comes in this scenario that it disables structural changes to the file, and no one can go in and make any structural changes at all. Now if you go on Review tab, we have an option there, workbook protection. Now if you see on the left side, it says unprotect the sheet because we just protected one sheet, and on the right side, the whole workbook is not protected, so we will use that. If I click there, the protect workbook for, and if you do provide a password here and hit OK, it means everyone can now access the file as read-only. That's one option, and they won't be allowed to key in anything. You must be thinking, why would we want to do this? For instance, if we have a holiday tracker, if we apply workbook protection and provide a password, all employees can still look at their holiday schedule, but they won't be able to make any changes. So all these options are relevant and quite useful in our company. Now if you select protect sheet, as I already did, and protect workbook together, let's see. I'm not gonna provide any password, for instance. So if I don't provide a password, it's still in read and writable mode and can only make changes to the cells that are unlocked. And if you notice that we had locked the cell in sheet 1 but not here. In sheet 2, in sheet 1 it's locked, but in sheet 2 it's not locked. So let's go to sheet 2 again. So these are unlocked cells here. I'm changing it so that works for me. Now if I see here, they won't have any further options such as inserting a tab, deleting a tab, and so on. So let's say if I add by adding a tab, if you see, it doesn't even give me that option. So it's just the sheet 1 is locked and sheet 2 is locked, and you can see the options are grayed out. If I do the right click, these are the options I'm getting. Select all sheet, view code, and unprotect sheet. Because I didn't give the password, so you can unprotect it, but obviously if you give a password, they don't know the password, so they cannot unprotect it. Okay, now if I go further down in this sheet, okay, so I'm basically protecting the workbook, and that's how you can do it. We'll see you in the next video.